Hey, Nickie Brown here, no matter where you are and no matter what part of the world you're in. I hope that you're having a good day. I'm doing some bonnet chronicles today. Being a little copycat. Well, not really. I just didn't take my bonnet off. And when I need to get a message out, sometimes I just go ahead and get it out. So I'm starting to see a lot of videos with European descendants who are crying and complaining about the economy and, being laid off, and all the different things that they're going through. And I see white people doing line dance. It's not funny. But most ADOS, African descendants of slaves, if you believe that you're an African descendant of slave, then there are those of us who believe we are POWs, prisoners of war, and that we're from this country. Our ancestors are from this country. Our ancestors are the real Indians. And we've been going through this for a long time. Not everybody, of course not, but, the people based on what I see, people who graduated, like, say, when there was that recession, like around 2008. So anybody who graduated like 2008, 2009, 2010, 11, 12, a lot of the people who graduated, like, say, from 2008 up until a certain, like, during that recession period, a lot of those people, I know one girl who went to law school who ended up cleaning houses. I know a lot of people who end up working at the mall or just some minimum wage or very low paying job, maybe paying $11, $12, $15, maybe $17 an hour if the person was lucky. So what happened is a lot of the people who already had their jobs since they were in high school, or who went to college and immediately got a job, or even if they bounced around to different jobs, they still were already in the job market before that recession, before the housing market crashed and all of those things. So after that, it's like jobs were paying less, a lot more jobs were outsourced, and so it was harder to find good paying jobs. So again, a lot of people just had to take whatever they could take. And so you have, people who come from that era before who don't understand, especially if they're of a certain age. Like, say, I'm not even going to say over a certain age, but people, like I had someone say, oh, you have all these degrees, how come you can't get a job? Or you just need to put keywords on your resume. In the meantime, you've put out countless numbers of resumes. And during that, initially I was like, I've never had such a hard time finding a job. And then it just kind of became like, this is what's going on. But, you always have people who want to help. And sometimes the people who want to help, the job didn't always go through. I remember somebody tried to get me a job at New Jersey Transit. They had a hiring freeze. I went to the interview and everything, and immediately after, they put a hiring freeze on. So, sometimes things just don't work out in your favor. But again, a lot of us have been dealing with this for decades. And we've been talking about how unfair things were. And nobody cared. And I just think it's funny that, again, you got one group of people crying and the other group of people doing line dances. Because a lot of us are already used to being in survival mode. And again, it's not funny, but where were you when we were going through this for decades?